yeah, that was very interesting. You know, they still had the shoe racks and everything and the checkout counter, no machines or anything. But yeah, that was interesting. It was all right. It was a little cold because it was in Colorado, and it's when we had that big snowstorm and there were no heaters. We had to bring in, you know, little heaters to warm up the place. It was a little dusty. But, you know, during this pandemic, you have to figure it out. You have to make things work. And we did. And it was actually a really good month-long camp in the Macy's department. The whole USA Boxing staff set it up really well and organized. And yeah, so it was interesting. And now I can say that I did a whole training camp out of a Macy's department store. There was right when the pandemic hit, you know, all gyms were closed and everything. And so I was still in Colorado Springs. I haven't gone back to Houston, Texas yet. And I was with my best friend, Michaela Mayer, who was on the team, who's a professional now. But we knew this coach and he knew this spot on the mountain. So he invited us up on the mountain. And so it's like slanted on a mountain. And we're hitting mitts with him while Michaela's over there with a sledgehammer hitting just a rock. And then we switch. And so we're all like at an angle doing mitt work. So it was interesting, but it was a fun experience to be able to shadow box, hit mitts, and break rocks on the side of a mountain.
Mine's maybe as cool as a abandoned Macy's or like smashing rocks. But when the pandemic first started, tennis courts were closed. And so my roommates and I got kind of creative. I used to live in a house with two other girls, and we decided to move all of our furniture out of our living room. And then we got like that blue painter's tape, and we made a miniature tennis court in our living room and like put a net up and everything. And we like basically just played mini tennis with each other. And it definitely wasn't pretty, but it was fun.
And for us, I think, right when the pandemic hit, we were, thinking that we would still have our qualifiers coming up soon. So we were like panicking to figure out what we can do. Obviously, all pools had closed. So we had looked into getting an Airbnb with the team that had a backyard pool. And good thing we didn't, because we would have been there for a long time. And then I had actually ordered a baby pool from Amazon. That was kind of just for fun, but got to do a few little things in there. And then through the pandemic, we're used to training 7 hours a day in the pool and maybe 1 hour, 2 hours on land. And our team kind of switched over to Zoom training 5 hours a day on land together. And that was like, for us, going from water sport athletes to land athletes was like fish out of water. I mean, it was really hard and just different. And then I'm lucky that I've been living in San Francisco Bay Area. So during the summer months, I was able to go and swim in the bay just to get some sort of water in and be able to be distanced from people and just kind of go out and do my own thing. And then we were finally able to get back with the team into the pool around mid-June. But then between that and, different testings and COVID scares and the California wildfires and everything, we've kind of been constantly just in and out of the pool, trying to find any pool space we can. So, smaller backyard pools, which for us, we need to have competition pools up to like 10 feet deep at least. And we're swimming in pools that are not heated, super shallow, like trying to avoid the bottoms, just like dirty and like leaves all in the pool. So basically, yeah, a little crazy and kind of just trying to find any pool space we could. But yeah, no other like crazy places that we've trained.